Well, hello, my beautiful Saggies. How are you, my gorgeous ones? So, thank you so very much if you're watching for the first time for watching this video. Welcome, everyone. My name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot and astrology, energetic healing, mediumship, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. So, this format is a little bit different. I thought I'd show you guys what I'm looking at when I'm talking about your houses and looking at a chart. That maybe the visual kind of help you guys put it together. And then on the side at the upper right hand corner, you can kind of see that I did a spread already, and I'll make that bigger and go over that after I talk about the houses. So first we're going to talk about this solar eclipse is coming, and it's going to be in Aquarius. And so where is that going to show up, in what house, in what area of life? So if you don't know anything about houses or astrology or any of that, when I talk about the houses, you can think about the houses as an area of your life, okay? And we have 12 houses, like we have 12 signs. So if you've ever thought, oh, I only have Gemini and Sagittarius and such, but I have no Cancer. Well, that's not true, because we have all signs in our chart, even if you don't have planets in there. We have all areas of our life, and basically it's in these. So in these houses, you'll have a sign, and that's kind of how you think or work in that house, by that sign, right? And there's one for your natal chart. It's almost like they took a picture when you were born, and that's how it looks. And then we have the transiting charts, because our planets are moving all the time, right? Pardon me, because I've got a cough. I'm still getting over this bronchitis. Okay. So that's just a little bit of a lesson. I don't want to make it too long, and I don't want to make this video, I don't want to make this video too long. But I wanted to sort of put things together for you so that you kind of understand what's going on, right? So let's talk about what a solar eclipse is. So solar eclipse, if you can think about what was happening about 6 months ago, because we had that solar eclipse, those areas of life that sort of lit up for you, you'll be sort of working in that again. Those may come to fruition. Those may come to be highlighted again. So if you started working on something, maybe you started working in a certain area and then it didn't come through, or maybe it did come through, but you wanted to make it even further, or go even further with it, and then you had to put it away because it was kind of going back and forth. That stuff should be highlighted. Now, we had the lunar eclipse just recently, and we still have the energy of that. You have that for like 4 months, 3 or 4 months. So we still have the energy of that. The full moon in the lunar eclipse was about completions and destiny and faded stuff and changes in your life, in that area of your life. And for you guys, it's in your 9th house. So your solar eclipse is going to be in your 3rd house. That's where it's shining, and that's where it's happening, is in your 3rd house. Now, we have the energy of the lunar eclipse and the full moon. It's going to be overlapping this solar eclipse and the new moon. And the new moon is about new beginnings, rejuvenation, exciting times, manifesting what it is that you're wanting. Now, that energy will be going on. It can be going on for 6 months, and some of you, it can be up to a year, but it kind of depends on your path and your chart. Okay. So you're going to have this 45 days of it overlapping, the lunar and the solar, or the full moon and the new moon. You'll have that energy sort of overlapping. So in your life, you could be ending, completing, faded stuff, destiny stuff happening, and then new beginnings, manifestation, things coming in, right? So you'll be kind of doing this for the next 3 months. Now, I've explained this before, but if you've never seen me, I'll explain it again. In our higher selves, in our whole energetic being, we can have unlimited amounts of energy run through us, right? But in our physical selves, and this world, and with the laws of the universe and the physical state of things, we can only have so much energy that can run through us. And that means, and remember, everything's energy. So your relationships, the situations that you're in, your work, the people around you, your lovers, your career, your house, your cars, your things, your clothes, everything is energy, and all of that runs through you for your life, right? For your world that you create. So if you're holding on to old stuff, if you're holding on to things that no longer serve you, whether it's physical or emotional, if you're holding on to things that no longer serve you, then you're not making room for your abundance. You're not making room for the blessings and the things that you're trying to come in, the things that you've been calling to and trying to make come in. If you don't have room to run through it, to run it through your life, or run it through your world, then it's not going to be able to come in. So the lunar eclipse is used to sort of release that. And I have videos, and I'll put the links below, of the full moon and steps to take to release old energy that no longer serves you. And then in this new moon, I have steps to use the energy to manifest. Okay. So if you want to do that, you can do those things that will help you release so that more abundance can come in. Release so that more stuff can come through. More situations, more relationships, more things that you've called in, more blessings, more abundance, right? So the solar eclipse, again, is about, it's taking that new moon energy and it's sort of intensifying it. And if you think about it, eclipses themselves is like eclipsing that energy and putting you at 0 point energy to then launch you into whatever your focused and attention is on, right? So this being a partial eclipse has to do with what happened 6 months ago. So if you step back into that and think about what was happening 6 months ago, or think about those inspiration, those dreams, those things that you were wanting 6 months ago, when you go to this eclipse and you're in that, when it eclipses, even if it's a partial eclipse, because there's still a lot of energy in that almost 0 point energy, it can launch you into getting those manifestations, into working to bring those manifestations to the reality. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so this is going to be happening in Aquarius, your solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, right? So let's talk about what Aquarians are. So Aquarians have this gift of being able to bring everyone and everything together, right? And they sort of have this gift of being able to give people what they're wanting and needing. They have this way to connect everyone and allow like the whole to grow, right? So that's sort of their talent. That's their gift. They're also very, very good at manifesting and building and creating. They're very good at it. They just need to stay focused to do it, right? So their characteristics are also, they're very sociable and sweet and extremely intelligent. Now, I'm going to pause there for a second, because in astrology, we have what's called octaves. So every sign, every planet, every asteroid, every star, every us, we all have, and they all have octaves or levels of energy, resonances of these energies. So these higher octaves, or what they call higher octaves, are finer vibrations or more evolved vibrations, you can call it that. That's the sort of sociable, sweet, extremely intelligent, generous, gracious, creative, personable, speaking the truth. They're old souls. They're very eccentric and quirky, and they like to be different. They don't have a problem being different. They will test, though, and they like to create. They like to build. They like to manifest. They are very futuristic in their beliefs. I always say this about Aquarians. They're about 150 years ahead, like the societal norm. They are way, way ahead. And so their issue is trying to acclimate to this society and learn this society and bring some of their knowledge, bring it to us here, right? So they love science and they love technology, and they're sort of more than spiritual. I mean, spiritual is the only word we have for it that I can sort of attach to it, but they understand the more. You Sagis understand that too. Like, it's more than the word spiritual or that meaning. It's more than that. And so they understand that too. So they're very compassionate. They're very empathetic. And they're very loving on the whole for humanity. So they're humanitarians. Now, a lower octave or a lower vibration or a lesser evolved vibration, or a young aqua, as you can call them, they can be heartless and cynical and cold and detached and distant and moody. And they have a fear of intimacy, and they don't like attachment at all, right? And so this is all about you allowing those types of energy. So which one are you going to glean from? Are you going to glean from that higher vibration? Because the solar eclipse is in the 27th degree, which is that higher vibration of aqua, right? But which one are you going to glean from? It's all about your consciousness, what you're going to allow, right? So let's talk about where this is going to happen and what that means for you. So Saggy, this is you. So when I'm looking at a chart, I look at your sign, whether it's sun, moon, or ascending. I go by the ascendant, but you know, if your sun was there, then your sun is there. If your moon was there, then your moon is there. It's the same thing, right? Except for it means different things, but it's the same placement, okay? So this is your ascendant or sun or moon. Okay, so this is you, Saggy, right here in the first house. And so when I look at where this eclipse is going to happen, I do 1, 2, 3, right? And then when I look at your lunar eclipse that just happened, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because it's going to happen in Leo, right? So the solar eclipse is in Aquarius, the lunar eclipse is in Leo, right? And so they're sort of ending, as you're ending, completing, gathering information, understanding more, you're releasing. That's bringing more abundance in this area, right? So I'm not going to go over the whole chart with you guys, but I did want to point out a couple of things. Now, in your third house, what is the third house about? Well, the third house is about communication. And the third house, oddly enough, has Mercury in it. And Mercury is about processing and communication itself. So it looks like your house of communication has Mercury to help it further be able to process and communicate, right? And so I can see where from your first house, you're sort of looking at, how am I putting my boundaries? What is it that I really want to do in this world? What do I not want to do in this world? What am I wanting to do in my career, in my everyday life? Like, that's the communication that you're trying to give to the world. Am I going to give my gifts here? Am I going to make the stuff that's unknown and that I made known, am I going to give that to the world or not? Like, that's kind of what this house is about for you. Communication, processing those things that you have gone through. Also, the old stuff that you've gone through. You'll be able to process this better. You'll be able to communicate your boundaries better as you're working in this, okay? Now, in your fourth house, and see, these are conjunct. So these are conjunct, which means that they're speaking to each other. So Mercury is helping this eclipse help you to process these things so that you can finish them up, have abundance, bring those things into your life, right? And so maybe there is this communication that you haven't been able to say to people, to someone, to a situation. Maybe there is this process that you haven't been able to process. Maybe there's a situation that you haven't been able to process. And with Mercury being here in this eclipse for the next 3 months, I feel like you're going to get very clear about that, and you're going to know what to do, and you're actually going to have the courage to do it, right? Because as Saggies, you don't like to upset anybody. You don't want anybody upset. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And you do have well, they'll say usually we don't have a filter, right? And so you know that about yourself. So what will happen is, because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, you'll just retract and not say anything. But there's a way to communicate your boundaries and what you want to say using a filter. And so maybe that's what you're going to be learning as well. As I'm becoming more, as I'm getting more abundance, as I'm meeting new people, as my relationships are growing, maybe I need to learn that I mean something. My boundaries shouldn't be taken advantage of, and I need to know how to say that where everybody is happy, right? Where I don't have to be so to the point, forward, and drastic, right? Cut people with words. So you could be learning that in this solar eclipse. But more so here, so as we look here, we have that happening, but we also have Venus, Neptune in Pisces house. We have Chiron down here. So Venus, Neptune, and Pisces are these beautiful, fantastical, fantasy, ethereal, beautiful, loving planets, right? Planets and signs. And so with this being in your, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's in your fourth house. So with it being in your fourth house, you know, the fourth house is about your family, the generational stuff, the karmic stuff, um, yeah, the generational karmic, the family, the maybe the siblings, right? And so I feel like with this being lit up right now in your fourth house, you've probably been dealing with a lot of family members in a very, very new way. And with these beautiful planets showing their beautiful light in this area, I feel like, and this is kind of happening to me too, I feel like maybe you're looking, maybe you've come to a place where you're back with your family or you're spending more time with your family, and maybe you're looking at them a little differently, like in a better manner. Like, not that you were looking at them in a bad manner, but maybe you're saying, well, let me just say this, because when you were young, maybe you were like, that's not me. I don't act anything like them. Why am I even born in this family? I don't even act anything like that. I'm so far detached from them. Like, maybe that was going on. And now maybe you come full circle and come back around to your family and you're realizing, you know, they're not so bad. They all have their beautiful qualities, and I see where I match their DNA and they match my DNA, and it's a good thing. And maybe it's great that they're able to be so loving, and maybe it's great that they're able to engage, and maybe it's great that they spend a lot of time together. And maybe, like, I see that you can look at things differently right now with this being lit up, okay? And so when I see Venus, the other thing I want to talk about is when I see Venus and the Saturn in your second house, I'm seeing a sextile. That's a sextile right there. So a sextile to me means opportunity, 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 right? And so, Sagi, if you've been working hard because Saturn's in there and Capricorn's in there, so you've had like a lot of energy and a lot of focus, and it's hard work getting your money stable, getting your material things stable, getting stability, getting money, getting stuff like that, getting your things, right? Because the second house is about the value you bring to your identity, right? And the value you bring to your identity is like, I worked really hard to get that house, and so that is my house because I worked really hard to get that, and I did that. Like, that's the second house, right? So or the car, or that beautiful dress, or just those things that bring value to you. And so with Saturn in there in Capricorn in your second house, and this sextile here with Venus, I can see, because this is your fourth house, that maybe there's opportunity for you to become stable where your family may be helping, or maybe friends that you consider family may be helping, or maybe something karmic comes to you, some opportunity comes to you because you've been working so hard in this house. Okay, now I will let you know that Saturn will be moving closer to Pluto, and Pluto is about transformation. So for the next 14 to 16 months, I can see where you will have transformation in the second house if you're working on it, right? Because remember, Saturn is that planet. It's the last planet we can see. And you can see it, you can think of it as, I can see my dreams and my goals, and I can almost reach it, but I can't, but I got to stretch. And if I stretch hard enough and if I work hard enough at it, then I can bring it into the physical. I can reach for my dreams, reach for my goals. That's Saturn. So Saturn's going to make you work for it, but it will bring it to you. You will end up bringing it to the physical if you work hard for it. So I can see right now that this year for you guys is about really working hard, really making that decision to work hard to attain the things that you want, that you think are valuable to you. Okay? So you'll be working in this for the year. And as Saturn gets closer to Pluto in the next 14 to 16 months, I can see where you will have transformation in this, and you will have more stability, and you will have the things that you really worked hard for, okay? And Capricorn's going to give you that drive and that focus to do that. Okay? So this right now, what I'd like for you to do, because it's in your third house, I want you to really think about what you want to communicate, not just to the world, but to your relationships, to your family, to your friends, to yourself. Okay, so as we have this eclipse, it can launch you in that area. Now, you're letting go, completing, releasing your ninth house. So it looks to me like you guys have gone through this belief system, because your ninth house is about belief system, and it's ruled by you, Sagittarius. So it looks like working in this house and having this north node here, you've been trying to figure out not just your belief system, but a broader perspective of belief systems, right? Like, why does everybody have belief systems? And when they do, what are those and how does that come to be? Like, why do people do the things that they do and why do I do the things that I do? That's what I feel like a lot of you have been kind of going through. And I feel like you're at the end. I feel like you're completing it, understanding it, and have a better understanding about this world, about your life, and about your path. Okay? Then the last thing that I'll talk about is Jupiter in your 12th house. So Jupiter's really working in your 12th house, and the 12th house, so Jupiter is the guru, and we talked about that, and Scorpio is like the detective. It wants to go deep. It wants to figure out the mystery. It wants to do that, right? And so I feel like in your 12th house, your 12th house is about the karmic stuff, the fated stuff, the destiny stuff. If you don't want to think about it that way, you can think about the stuff that comes through the 12th house are the things that you wanted to experience on this earth in this lifetime, right? Stuff that it feels like you have no control over, it just comes through. Like whether it's a lottery or whether it's a love loss, or like it can be any number of things. It just comes through no fault of your own. It just happens because it's fated. It's part of your path. So I feel like you've been really trying to understand that. And what can happen is, because Jupiter is the guru, it's going to bring you luck in that. And so as long as when those things come through, you're facing them, you're trying to understand them, and you're working through them, whether they're good or bad, which y'all consider good or bad, I feel like Jupiter will bless you even more, okay? As long as you are facing it, because some of you don't like to face it, and you'll turn away, and you'll pretend like it's not there, and that's not what we want to do. But if things come to you, and you're facing them in this last, since October, November, so in these last months, at the end, Jupiter is going to bless you this way. And yeah, and right now it's like a hard square, but it should be relieving. But it is in a good aspect, which is the sextile to Pluto. So that's why I feel like in this 12th house, you have some endings coming. You have some completions coming. You have some things from maybe your past life that you wanted to finish off that are coming this way, okay? And that's what you'll be dealing with as well. So I hope that that helped. I hope you understand all of that. I don't want to confuse you. I know a lot of you do astrology that are Sagittarius, and we all do it differently. And I think I've said this before. I am nowhere near an astrologer. I'm a medium. And everything I do are things that either I've taken classes and learned. So I'm talking about astrology. I've been doing astrology since, I was just talking to somebody the other day about like 9, 10, 12, something. I don't even remember. I can't even remember. But it was just like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. And so I decided to bring this out to you guys, but I'm nowhere near an astrologer, nowhere near one. Okay. So I go by spirit. I go by what I'm feeling, what I'm understanding, what the teacher is explaining to me. Okay. The teacher is one of the beings that I work with. So, I'm going to break this out. I'm going to make this bigger. And then we will go over. So bear with me. Sorry. We will go over these cards. And pardon me for coughing. I am still trying to get over this bronchitis. Okay. So, in your first position, this is going to be going on for 3 months. This is what I did. I did the spread for 3 months. So, in your first position, which is the 7 of coins. You see the 7 of coins in the middle? I would use my cursor, but you can't see it. You see how you can see it on the side, but then I move it and you can't see it. Okay. So, in your first position, this is your present position. You have the 7 of coins. And the 7 of coins is all about making the decisions and understanding that I have a lot where I'm at, but am I trying to get to more, or do I sit here and appreciate the things that I want, right? Or the things that I have, the things that I've worked hard for. You see how she's looking out? See how her eyes, she's looking out and she's not looking at the baskets or the tree with all the coins ready to fall down into her basket. She's sort of looking out in a way. She's trying to decide. So I kind of feel like this is your position. Where am I going next? I know I have a lot now, and I've been through a lot, and I've come through a lot, and I'm a little bit more settled, but there are these things that I want to get to. And should I rest now and enjoy what I have now, or should I start being driven to that? Right? That's what I feel like. So that's your first position. Now, what's crossing you, this is Spirit's advice, is the Three of Coins. I put it up here so you guys could see it. So the Three of Coins is about, so their advice is work intently. Continue to work intently and focus on what it is that you're trying to get to. Because when you do that, there will be a time that comes, if it's something that you're really wanting and you're really passionate, first of all, it doesn't feel like work. But when you do that, you will soon find that you've become the master at it, right? And it will get you to the place that you're wanting to go, okay? So that's their advice is, yes, you can sit here and rest. You don't have to make a move, but just continue doing what you're doing. You don't have to you don't have to bring more on your plate, but you don't have to neglect what you have either, what you have going on. So just sort of stay steady, I think is what they're trying to say. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So what you come from is down here below the Seven of Coins, which is the Strength card. And it looks like you came from this place of trying to please others and trying to please yourself. And you just knew that there was a way that you could communicate and you could do things where everyone was happy, like yourself included. And so that was a big feat for you. That was a big step for a lot of you, to include yourself, because you're really good at making other people happy, but yourself you neglect. And so this time you were about yourself and everyone else, and you just knew there was a way to compromise where you didn't lose everything and they didn't lose everything, right? So that brought you to this position, the Seven of Coins. Now, congratulations. And all they're saying is to just continue to work. Just continue to work steady. You don't have to add things on. You don't have to take things away. Just continue to work. Just continue to do the things that you're doing. Now, in your fourth position, we have this Three of Cups. And the fourth position to me in this spread is from now to 1 month. Okay, so now to 30 days. Could be 35, could be 40. Kind of depends. Timelines kind of vary. And it depends on your aspect and your world you're creating and your phase of life, right? And your decisions that you make. So the Three of Cups is about celebration. So it looks like this month you're going to see progress of the things that you've been steadily working on. Now, it's not a 10. It's not a 9 where it's completion. You know, it's not an 8 or 7. It's not any of that. It's not like a big celebration, but it's a relief. It's like, okay, I can see these things coming in. I have been working hard, and I'm not hitting myself against the wall, my head against the wall. I can see where I'm gaining things. I can see where I can breathe. I'm enjoying my family. I'm enjoying my friends. I'm enjoying my work. Like, that's what I feel like you'll be going through in this next month. Okay? So congratulations. Now, in your fifth position, this is above the Seven of Coins, which is the Ace of Cups. You have new beginnings coming to you. So that's their advice. I always ask your higher selves, what is the one message they want to bring through to help you move forward? And they're giving me the Ace of Cups, or they're giving you the Ace of Cups, which means you have, from this work that you've been doing, you're going to have new beginnings in areas that you didn't think, but you had worked on before. That's what I'm feeling. So somebody may come to you. You may meet somebody. You may meet somebody romantically. You may meet somebody in business. You may meet somebody with a contract. You may meet somebody, a new family member. You may meet a new friend. Like, you have new beginnings, and this is going to be going on, because I don't feel like it's just one beginning. I feel like it's a couple of beginnings, but your heart will be ready to engage, right? Does that make sense? I don't want to say it's full, because you're going to have to fill the cup. You and that person are going to have to fill the cup, but I feel like you're engaged. You really want this, okay? I feel good. So that's the important message that they want to bring through to you. And I apologize for my voice. It is so bad right now. But that's the issue I'm having. That's why I haven't been able to get all these videos out, because my voice cuts out. Because I have a full schedule too. I see clients all day. So in your sixth position, your sixth position is the Two of Swords. And the sixth position to me is month 2 and 3. Okay. So after month 1, month 2 and 3, this is what's going to be going on. It looks like you have the Two of Swords that you'll be dealing with. And the Two of Swords is about, you've done all the work, you're ready to move, but you just feel like you can't because you have this feeling that you haven't seen all the information, or that maybe somebody isn't telling you something, or that maybe somebody's keeping something from you, or maybe you're waiting for the, you know, the laws of the universe to work and something to unfold. Like you're not moving, you're ready to move. You see the swords, but you feel blinded. You feel like you can't make a move yet because maybe you're not seeing something, or maybe it hasn't come through, or maybe you're just kind of waiting. And so they're saying with this card, always they say you do have all the information you need to make a move. So the only one stalling you is you. Because if you're feeling like, God, I want to go left, but I also want to go right, just center yourself and say, if I go left, I'm intuitive enough to know that if I go left, this and this and this and this will probably happen. And if I go right, this and this and this will probably happen. So then I make my choice from there, right? So you can stall this or you can make a choice, okay? That's kind of up to you and your path. You always have free will. Now, in your 7th position, this is your fear. A little bit like the Aquarius fear. So this you can't see it, but it's the 8 of Wands. So I feel like for some of you about romance, you're afraid to go to that next level and be not in control of the situation. For others of you, I feel like, will I ever get to that place where the energy's moving and I'm thriving? Like I have been in this state for so long. Will I ever get to this place where I'm thriving? So I always say this with this position. It's your fear position. A fear is there to remind you of what you don't want, but it's also there to remind you of what you want. So focus on what you want and go for what you want, okay? Because if you stay in this fear, you're going to draw this into you, okay? Like attracts like. Remember, laws of the universe? Okay. So in your 8th position, this is the way a loved one will be viewing you, or this is the universe letting you know, okay? You have the Knight of Cups. The Knight always comes with offerings. Now, this Knight is not here to stay because this Knight is still trying to become the king, right? But he's a beautiful Knight. He can be what you're wanting and needing, and he can fulfill you emotionally, right? Whatever he brings, whatever this offering brings, makes your heart sing, okay? Just don't get attached. So whatever this offering is, it could be in romance, could be in contracts, could be in your businesses, could be in your careers, could be in your position, new positions, could be in your family. Whatever this is, it's going to make you smile, and this will be going on for the next 3 months. Could be at the beginning of the 3 months, could be in the middle. It kind of depends on you and your path, but you have this coming, okay? For others of you, if it's a partner that you have with you, this is how they see you. They see you as always being what they want and need. And that can be a good thing, and I'm seeing it be a dangerous thing because, and dangerous is my word, okay? This is from my thing. Because what can happen, Sagi, is that you're doing what you've always done and letting them be happy, but not you, okay? Because I'm seeing this from both sides. So be very, very careful. You've worked very hard to get to the place that you're at. Don't undo it by going back to old habits. That's what this lunar and solar eclipse is about, okay? So in your 9th position, they call this the hopes and dreams, but I call it that energy that's coming in. It's not here yet, but it has a big possibility of coming in. So you have the moon. So the moon is all about seeing with rose-colored glasses, 2 people coming together. It could be about your subconscious being very prominent right now. So I feel like as soon as you make a decision about this 2 of Swords, and as soon as you make a decision about this 7 of Coins, and as soon as you relax and stop overthinking and just kind of do, I feel like this energy, the moon, will come in where you're very connected to your higher self, to spirit, to oneness, to source, to your loved ones, to your angels, whoever it is that you connect with. I feel like that's going to be sort of opening up for you. Your dreams may become more pronounced, and you'll get more signs to go where you really wanted to go. Like, get very, very clear about that, okay? So This right here, this Three of Swords in your 10th position, this is the overall outcome and what you'll be working through in the next 3 months and with the solar eclipse, okay? This has to do with the solar, the lunar, and the main theme of what's going on in this spread. You have the Three of Swords. So there is some separation that you're needing to do, either with someone or maybe a position or maybe a contract or maybe your work or maybe a friend, or maybe it's something that you're needing to separate from. It's going to be happening. And I usually wouldn't say need, but for your path, it's like this is going to help you get to that next level that you're trying to get to. Okay? So you'll be dealing with this in the next 3 months. Could be talking about divorces for some of you. Could be talking about just a breakup if you're together, boyfriend and girlfriend. Or we could be talking about a friendship ending. Whatever this is, it's a separation. Now, even if it's a marriage or a partnership and you separate, it doesn't mean you're completely broken up. It doesn't even mean a breakup all the time. It means somebody could be really having to go to work in another country, or their family is calling them in another state. Like there's some sort of separation that's going to be happening that you're going to be dealing with. Okay. So, and that may be part of what this Two of Swords is. Okay. So, but again, it's the whole theme of this. So even in your first position with the Seven of Coins, I see where this Three of Swords, you need to make a decision. You need to separate from one for a little bit. I see here with the Three of Cups, you need to separate from, like, enjoy yourself and separate from that anxiety and that push and that overthinking. So either way, I'm seeing separation all through this, but in a different way for everybody. So I hope that helps. I hope I didn't confuse you, but that's what I'm seeing. I love you, love you, love you. If you liked what you saw, please be sure to subscribe. And guys, let me know if you like this new format, okay? Bye.